Hello everyone, welcome back to Andrina's Creations. Today I'll be showing you how to customize your own satin robe or a silk robe, whichever kind you get. And I'll be using HTV, I'll be using glitter vinyl, and I'll be using my silhouette machine. These are very easy to do and you could customize them if you're getting married or if you want to customize them for any events, even for Valentine's Day. You could even sell these in like little custom baskets and stuff like that, okay? So let's get started, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified when I upload my next videos, okay? So let's get started. All right, so the first thing that you are going to do, you're going to grab your satin robe or silk robe. Mine is a silk robe in the size medium. I got it from Amazon. Check down below for my Amazon link. And you're going to open up your robe. Once you're done opening your robe, you are going to measure the back or wherever you want to add your vinyl. And this goes for anything that you want to customize. All you have to do is measure. That's how we come up with any size, and you need to make sure you measure it. And then that's how big you're going to be designing your words. So I have a ruler here, and this is the back of my robe, like this. And then I'm gonna grab my ruler, or you can grab a measuring tape, and I want it to start right here and so right there, maybe 11 inches. So maybe 11 inches, and then it could go from there maybe to like 4 or 5. So I know around 11.4, okay? 4 or 5. All right, and then we're gonna go to the computer, and I'll be using Silhouette Studio. I know a lot of people use a Cricut, so it's all the same step, okay? Okay, once you open up your software, your screen might look different than mine. I'm using Silhouette Studio Business Edition, and I'm still on version 4.2, but it's always the same steps. I have my page set up on 12 by 12. So your page setup is your first paper icon on your right, and I have the size 12 by 12 because that is the size of vinyl that I'll be using. We're going to be using HTV, which that is heat transfer vinyl. I'll be using glitter vinyl. So my mat right now is 12 by 12, and then the first thing you have to do is start typing what you want your robe to have on. So on the A that it's on your left, you're going to click on that, and you're going to click anywhere on your screen, and you're going to start typing. My robe is going to say maid of honor. Once I'm done typing maid of honor, I'm gonna select anywhere on my screen so I can get off the edit mode. I'm gonna select it again, and I'm gonna actually go to the paint panel, and I'm gonna color it black so you can see what we are doing. And I'm going to put it a little bit bigger so you can see exactly. And then I'm gonna go to the A on my right, and then I'm going to click the font that I want to use. Today I'll be using Heartbeats, and I got it free on thefont.com. You can always go to the font and download free fonts. The only thing that you need to do is make sure your Silhouette Studio is closed, the software is completely closed, and then once you finish downloading your fonts, then you can open up your software. And I have a whole tutorial on how to download fonts already here on my channel. Once I pick the font that I want to use, what I'm going to do is I want my font to be centered. So I'm going to click right here where it says justify center. So the honor could be, you know, right in the center. And then remember when I measured my robe, I wanted it to be around 11 by 4. So on my shapes, on my left, I'm going to go to shapes, and I'm going to select the square or rectangle. Make any size on my screen, and while it's selected, I'm gonna go to the top on my width, and I'm gonna type 11 and enter. And on my height, I'm gonna put it around 4.5, and that is my square. You might not be able to see it right now. Let me color it a light pink so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, then I'm gonna click on my font, and I'm gonna bring to front so you can see. And then I need to make sure that my font it's here. Now you see how the off it's really close to Maid of Honor. So I'm gonna click on that and I'm gonna right click and go to edit text. And right here between Maid, I'm gonna click space so it could be a little bit more that way. And then I want my stuff to fit right here. So I'm just measuring it to fit exactly on my 11 by 4.5. Okay. So once you have everything sized, you're going to remove that rectangle. We don't no longer need that. Now, if you go to cut this, your M and the A, it has like a line that you can't see right now, but that means you have to weld it. So look, if I go to the send panel and I go to cut this, you're going to see like my words are going to be cutting into each other. See what I mean? Like it's going to be cutting like that, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to go back to design, and I'm going to click on my word, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click weld. That is welding my words together. Before you weld, you need to make sure you have selected the font you want, because once you hit weld, it is no longer a font. Now it basically is like an image, if that makes sense. Now all this is separated, like the O it's by itself, the F or whatever. So you need to make sure you group it. So you're going to select everything. You're going to right click it and you are going to group it. If I go back to my send panel, you're going to see that everything is welded together. You see, everything it becomes one. Let me see if I could zoom in. So nothing's overlapping, everything is good. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the design, and when you're cutting on HTV, you need to flip horizontally, or they call it mirroring your image. So you need to make sure your font is selected. You're going to right click and you're going to flip horizontal. Okay, this is the way you have to cut your vinyl. If you do not flip horizontally, you're gonna be messing up vinyl, and y'all know vinyl ain't cheap. So don't forget to mirror your image, and then you're gonna go to the send panel because we are ready to cut. And then from here on your material, you're going to select the material that you're using. I personally, I'm going to be using glitter vinyl. So I'm going to select flocked vinyl. Now this is just a personal preference. Everyone has different settings to cut your vinyl. I just like using that setting. So I'm going to look. So it's going to say heat transfer flocked. And I selected. So I have it on that setting. Then we're gonna get ready to put your vinyl on your mat, and then when you load it to your to your machine, then you're going to click send. I'm gonna turn on my machine, and then once it's loaded, then we click send. Okay, do not click send down here, not the send on top, the send in the bottom. Do not click the send in the bottom until you have your mat loaded to your machine. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so when you have your vinyl, you're going to see that there is a shiny side and then there's like a dull side, right? So the shiny side is the side you have to place down on your mat. And again, I am using a Cameo 3 machine, and this is the brand of mats that I use. You can also find this on my Amazon. I just find these are better than your silhouette mats, and they were sturdier and cheaper. Okay, so you can find that on my Amazon as well. Now I do get a small commission when you do purchase through my link, and I really appreciate those for all those that are using my link. Okay, so you're going to place your vinyl again upside down and align it to your mat. Once you align it to your mat, and my vinyl is a little bit bigger because this vinyl is 12 by 15, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be hanging a little bit from my mat. Now you're getting ready to load your mat to your machine. Okay, before I put my mat on my machine, I make sure my roller is locked, and this is how you know it's locked. I make sure this is locked. So if you can see right now, it's on the unlock. So I make sure this is locked. I make sure that my rollers are in their groove, because if not, my mat will be sliding. I make sure all that's on my groove. I make sure this is locked. And then when you load your mat, make sure you align it to this line right here, okay? And when you line it up here, you're going to click load. All right, see, my mat, it's connected to that line right there. Make sure you're doing that, okay? Line it up with your line, and then you're gonna click load. And then it will load it, and then you can let go of your mat, okay? And now you're gonna click send on your computer. And then it's gonna ask you send mirrored or send as is. I'm just gonna click send as is because I already mirrored it, okay? So send as is. And then it's gonna start cutting. All right, once your vinyl is done cutting, you're not gonna be able to see it, just a little bit, but now you're going to weed. Weeding is when you take out the excess vinyl away from the backing. And then what I use is, these are picks I got from Harbor Freight. You can use an X-Acto knife, you can use a needle, you can use anything of your choice. I know the machines also come with one, but I like these because these are very thin. So just pick in the corner and remove slowly the vinyl from the backing, okay? Okay, once you are done weeding, you turn it around and make sure that you have weeded out every single center of each letter. And this is how it looks, okay, after you weed it. And now you are ready to put this on your garment. You can use a home iron, but just make sure you press down firmly and protect your vinyl and your robe with parchment paper or a Teflon sheet on top of this, okay? But I'll personally be using a heat press, and I got my heat press from Amazon. All right, so I have my robe already on my heat press, and I have it on 320 by on 7 seconds. And like I said, I got this heat press on Amazon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my satin robe for like 3 seconds just to take the moisture out, okay? And I just pressed it, and you know it's not wrinkly no more. And I also have a Teflon sheet on the top of my heat press right here. And they actually have Teflon sheet covers on Amazon, but I just put this here and I use some elastic and call it a day. They have Teflon sheets on Amazon, but they also have the Teflon sheet covers for your heat press. But like I said, I just put that on there. But make sure you are protecting your garment, okay? And then now my heat press is a 15 by 15 swing away. I don't think I said that, but it's a 15 by 15 swing away. So now I pressed it for just 3 seconds, and I'm going to place my vinyl right here. So you're going to place your vinyl, make sure it's aligning in the middle, make sure you have enough space on each side, and you're going to place it wherever you think it's centered. You could use a ruler to make sure there's enough space on the side, make sure there's enough space in the top. Now this is where you be creative and you place it wherever you want. Once you are comfortable putting it where you think it's gonna go, you're going to press it. Now I'm going to press it only maybe 7 seconds, and then I'm gonna lift it up to take the carrier sheet. Okay, and my machine slides out, so all I'm gonna do is slide it in, make sure I have everything, and then like I said, I have it on 320 for 7 seconds. Okay, after the 7 seconds, you are going to peel it off slowly, making sure that everything is adhered to your robe. And be careful because it is hot, but just slowly. And then after you slowly peeled it off, I'm going to press for another 7 seconds. And after those 7 seconds, we should be done. All right, I just finished pressing for the other 7 seconds, so that was 14 seconds altogether. I'm gonna bring it to my studio light so you can see how everything looks. Okay, this is the final result. This is how it looks. You know, some parts will be wrinkled, but you can iron this on with your regular iron. I am done with putting the vinyl on. This robe is going to go inside of a box that I'm customizing for a customer with a robe. I also bought a cup from Amazon, and I have to embellish it and stuff like that. But this is done, and I hope this have helped others that want to start customizing their own robes for their wedding or your bridal shower or your bridesmaids and stuff like that. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up, and please feel free to subscribe so you get notified when I upload my next videos. And thank you so much for all those that have subscribed. We are about to reach 20K. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't join my Facebook crafting group, it is called Andrina's Kreations Crafting Lounge. You can get a hold of me much faster there, and you are more than welcome to ask me a million questions. If you want to order anything from me, feel free to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Andrina's Kreations, or you can also email me at andrinascreations@yahoo.com. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope everyone's having a blessed day. Bye bye.